Hello friends, welcome back to Tavern Talk. I think this is episode 14. I think we're nearing the end of the game. We found out Melly was fine and dandy last time, and she's doing okay, but we don't know where Fable's at. Fable went off to try and find Melly, and we haven't heard from them since, and no one else seems to have heard from them. So I think we're a little worried about Fable, and hopefully we can figure out what happened to her and maybe figure out why the Twilight Sea has flooded, why there was a tsunami, and hopefully hear back from some of our other adventurers who've been out on quests. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Act 3, The Twilight Flood. 21, Disaster, Tea, and Revelations, 31st of the Astral Moon. Oh, wasn't Fable supposed to have a barbecue on today? Maybe this is the last day? Welcome back. It's good to see you both again. So sorry. Hold your enthusiasm, innkeeper. We bring tales of disaster. I don't mind a little disaster in my tales. After all, you tell them so well. She really does. As do you, Clay. Thank you. I hope my stories are as good as your drinks. They are to me. Speaking of which, can I offer you a drink in exchange for a little insight into your disasters? That'd be great. Something that feels strong and magic-y, right? You remember. Yes, that one, please. Coming right up. And do pat, 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 pat. Alright, he wants something strong. How about we just go... Oh, we could give him some cursed coffee. I haven't made that one yet. Let's do that. We'll need to add... I think some of those teeth do well. And we'll do 2... Oh, no, sorry, Andu. I need strength. And we need intelligence. 3. Oh, did I do too much? No, I did too much. Here, Andu, have a little bit. Cursed coffee. Something tasty and strong, and hopefully not disastrous. Very tasty, very strong. You've really got the best drinks around. Happy to hear that, Clay. Tia, you're bursting at the seams. How are the archives? Fun? Are they? Mayhaps. The bleak stalkers were... bleak? Cute. I wasn't expecting that. Cute? Very. Jade told us where to find the entrance to the archives, but when we got there, we found it surrounded by bleak stalkers. They were quite numerous, and so, shaped, I decided to ask them if they could let us through, and I thought he might need some help with that. So I called on your honey flowers, and I extended my divine light to him. It made him glow softly, and they all flocked to him like moths to a gentle flame. Did you know they have velvet wings that can fold into their bodies? I didn't. That's fascinating. They were so cuddly and showed off their crawling skills in exchange for carrots. I asked them if they'd like to be our tour guides, and they were so excited. They'd never been tour guides before, and at first they thought it involved eating people. I might have acted a bit standoffish when trying to correct their misconception. Clay was able to convey the message much better. He's very good at explaining things. I think he really understands people, and that helps him meet them where they're at. I try to. Everyone has their own way of understanding things. I think that's beautiful. I envy your empathetic approach to life, Clay. Thank you. But you've got your own strengths, like how you're a master of strategy, or how you're so good at making people feel safe. I suppose we make a great team. The best, I might say. We made a great team with the Bleak Stalkers, too. They let us right inside the archives, which were huge. Large parts of the Everbloom had collapsed, but even the explorable sections were unbelievably spacious. We had no time for a proper tour, unfortunately. We had to make it back in time for the barbecue, after all. That meant we had to be efficient during our search. Though we did take a break to admire the artist hall the creatures excitedly led us to. We found abandoned pottery equipment that distracted us a little too much. Using more time than was perhaps appropriate, we molded tiny versions of these critters, as a gift to them. They loved them. Afterwards, we split up to cover more ground. Each of us was guided by a group of Bleak Stalkers. A dangerous choice. That's when the monsters get you. That's what Clay said, so I enchanted the friendship bracelets. Oh, look, she is wearing the friendship bracelet. That's so cute. That way they would always sense in which direction the other person was located, so neither of us would get lost. It was so smart. Look at how happy he is. It was very useful. I see you kept yours on. I did. They really helped with navigating around the archives, too. It's a beautiful place, you know. I mean, everything's overgrown with vines or withered and full of termites. But we could still tell how much care had gone into building it. Some of the tree branches still had leaves on them. And I saw a couple of stubborn lotus daisies trying to break through around the rocks. I taught the Bleak Stalkers how to water them. They love drinking out of the watering cans. But they also enjoy sharing their water with the lotus daisies. Hopefully they'll grow stronger again soon. What a shame all that the effort went into building the archives was for nothing. But it wasn't. It meant something to someone once. And I could still feel that love in it, even during our visit. Maybe it'll even bloom again. It's called the Everbloom, right? Like forever. I wonder who named it. We should go back sometime and see if we can find any information about the archivists. I bet they knew some great drinking games. Perhaps we should honor their contributions by studying the knowledge they left behind? Why not both? They should be people first, symbols second. Oh, yes, I guess both would work too. Good idea, Clay. What else did you find in the archives, besides friends and the beauty and horrors of time, I mean? I got a little distracted when I asked our new friends to point me toward the cooking section. It was so vast. I found so many bread recipes I can't wait to try out. I also found something for you. For me? Yes, a recipe from a book on mixology. First I thought about taking the whole thing along, but it was a giant tome and the bleak stalkers were attached to it. So I ripped out the page that looked the most interesting. We thought it would fit your repertoire. I think it does. Thank you very much. The Last Whisper. What? Look at that. I want to make that. It's a speedy drink. As for me, I asked them to lead me towards dangerous knowledge and soon found myself in a hidden study. The bleak stalkers didn't want to go inside, like they were scared of its contents. So I rewarded them with some treats and ventured inside alone. It was a complete mess, full of scriptures, scrolls, and written ramblings that would be forbidden these days. A little exciting. And worrying. The papers I was able to translate spoke of the apocalypse, of the end of it all. There was research on the roots of the aether tree and how to unbind them, written with shaky hands and fading ink. Was this more the scholarly or mad scientist type of research? Hard to tell. The lines tend to blur with blasphemy. Do you know a lot about the aether tree? Because Tia gave me the whole presentation about it. I wouldn't mind a refresher. It's a giant tree. Good start. A world tree. That means our world rests on it, in it, around it, somewhere? In it, mostly. Depends on who you ask. The dragons guard the tree because they created it? Maybe. But definitely because they care for us. And since we live in it, it should keep existing as it does now, because no one wants their house to crumble. A lot of people would get hurt if something happened to everyone's home. Let's look at Clay's probably third, oh no, his second one. Clay Moore. Even a big guy like him needs a bit of encouragement and positive reinforcement sometimes. I think he and Miss Ann War are definitely a good team. They even have matching friendship bracelets. Clay's bracelet is orange, of course, because that's his favorite color. It suits him well. That's true, but luckily for us, damage in the aether tree isn't possible. It's larger than we could ever imagine. To us, it's really more of a concept than a tree. And the dragons defend it. Despite their oath of neutrality, they're no easy foes. There is one way. The sigils of Alcahest? The what now? The sigils of Alcahest. They're the key to destroying the aether tree, according to the scrolls I studied under the archive's candlelight. Are they some sort of spell? More of a manual to a self-fulfilling prophecy. A way of breaking the cosmos in accordance with its own rules. For the tree to crumble, its foundation must be fractured. The 5 sigils of Alcahest represent the 5 dragons, each of which must be damaged to topple our world's balance. Well, haven't 2 of them already been damaged? The one for the Twilight Sea, or the Primordial Sea, when the flood happened, which is Leviathan's realm, and then Cassiopeia's realm, which was the Sea of Stars. Uh-oh. Only then can our cosmos reshape itself. The scrolls spoke of experiments for creating a sigil. Unsuccessful experiments. That's reassuring. Not quite. They were only unsuccessful back then. Next to the notes of old, I found others, written on cleaner, newer parchment with unfaded ink. Much of it was incomprehensible, written in languages I've never seen before. But various sketches of whales caught my eye, as did altered frostbite scrolls. That sounds unsettlingly familiar. I fear that the starfall broke a sigil. By ripping holes in Cassiopeia's wings, it destabilized her flight. If she's damaged any further, time could be sent into disarray. Meanwhile, the tsunami, like I heard, didn't just plague the archives. The waves broke down the barriers between the primordial sea and the twilight chasm in ways never seen before. So that's 2 broken sigils? That's not good. What an incredible understatement. To witness one such sigil fracture would be anxiety-inducing enough. Knowing it happened to 2 will keep me up for many nights. It's not 2, it's 3. 3? Alongside the notes, I found an old map with fresh markings. All the names were outdated, but the intention was clear. Marked were the 5 interplanar portals. 30 years ago, their sudden appearance tore fissures into Gaia. I believe they were the first sigil. Bad, right? Very. Who could have done this? I don't know, and why of all things? If the Aether Tree collapsed, or even shifted from its perfect balance, the destruction would end us all. Who would want that? No one thinking rationally, that's for sure. They might have a good reason for it. Maybe we can talk them out of it? I doubt it. Me too. Whoever it may be that's causing this, they only have 2 sigils left. Her would be quite bad, right? Don't they say that the Wakened Elder Dragon will start the apocalypse? They do. I feel like there's too many ways to start the apocalypse. Maybe they're all connected, and Wakened will break the last sigil? Although, I'd like to think that breaking all the sigils is indeed impossible. Because it's impossible to reach Tuat in the spirit realm, correct? It's not exactly impossible. One can make it to the spirit dragon via the astral sea at the dawn of the dying moon. That's in 5 days, right? Yes, but worry not. To reach such a specific location within the astral sea, very specific rituals are necessary. And Gaia's portal to Cassiopeia is indispensable. Said portal is located in and safely protected by the Aperture, the stronghold of the Order of Starlight. And its rituals must be performed with outstanding accuracy to withstand the treacherous astral currents. Only the highest ranking members of the Order are privy to this knowledge. And I guarantee you, all of us would rather die than aid in the destruction of this world. If the rest of them are half as stubborn as you are, I think we are well protected. Exactly. That's good then. The rest is worse. What's bad is we don't know who's behind this. Or why. By the dragons and the endless horizon, by the dragons and the endless horizon, would anyone want something so vile? I can already sense your next quest. But can I offer you a drink first? Your throat must be dry from all that exposition. I wouldn't say no to a drink. Perhaps something that would keep my mind intact, defended from lunacy. I feel like I'm going mad. Say no more. Strong defense. Let's do this one. I don't think I've made this one yet. We'll need to put something in it. Probably this. A delicious defense against the absurdity of evil plots. Thank you. This makes me feel a little less conspiratorial. I needed a breather. You know what else would make for a great breather? Fable's barbecue? Exactly. You're right. That would be quite pleasant right now. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I don't think the barbecue is happening today. Fable hasn't returned from their quest yet. Oh. What quest are they on? Finding Melina? But we just saw Melly on the way here. Perhaps they found another quest while out? Heroism can be infectious like that. Innkeep, what kind of drink did you mix them? None. Maybe we should go look for them. Maybe so. Please do. No one has seen them in days. And the last things I said to them, I'd hate for those words to stay the last. Please help me find them. Of course. I'm sure they could slay any monsters without us, but some extra hands couldn't hurt. But you'll have to deliver your apologies yourself. I'll slay that beast when it comes to it. Very well. But first, we must solve our urgent sigil problem. I feel like we're missing just one piece. Look, he's still got his little ooze on him. A piece of what? Cake? I'd like to order my usual cake, innkeeper. I don't serve cake. I never have. Oh, maybe you should. Another delicious delicacy would be. Also, still no blood. Oh. The sorrow I'm feeling almost equals the grief I felt after the vampire glitter competition of 1389. Oh? I had run out of glitter. I could serve you one of my usual drinks to alleviate some of that heartache. That would be splendid. I'd like something to enhance my immortal strength. No shopping bag shall hold me back today. I'll see what I can do. Here, with all the strength of a raging fire. Mysterious as the dark side of the moon? Thank you, dear innkeeper. My blood is boiling with euphoria. Any particular reason for your shopping trip? A very particular one, dear keeper. It is a matter of life and death. I must head out to purchase this wondrous substance known as comfort food immediately. Do you know what comfort food is? I haven't the slightest idea. But it is rumored to restore you mortals back to full health. I'm afraid Rhea will perish should she not receive it. That sounds serious. Has she fallen ill? A fatal case of something she called being in the zone. I assume it's highly dangerous. She's refused to move away from her drawing board for over a year now. She even threw me out of the room upstairs when I offered her a blood pellet snack. How will her body handle another year without food? I have some good news for you. Rhea hasn't been sketching for a year. You guys checked in yesterday. How fortunate. And as for your legendary item, you should ask her about it. Generally, everyone has a different idea of what they consider comfort food. How wondrous. Though something tells me you should give her some time before you go back upstairs to ask. Why? Her patience is on cooldown. I don't think Rhea is cold. Her room is very well heated. If anything, I think she's a very warm person. Right. Though I suppose she seemed a bit cold when I offered her blood. Let's give her some time to warm up again. Very well. I shall remain for a while. And once I have acquired the correct comfort food, I will make sure my friend eats every last bite. Like a vampiric mother hen to her vampiric chick. I didn't know there were vampire chickens. There aren't. Do you know that for certain? Yes. I could have sworn the ones on my family's estate had fangs. Chickens can't develop teeth. And here I thought we were comrades in blood hunger. Chickens are still very fascinating all on their own. Did you know they have very colorful dreams? Oh, that's nice. I once helped a wild hen with her dream journal. I'll introduce you to sometime. My favorite thing about chickens is that they purr when they're happy. What charming creatures. The more I learn, the more they remind me of vampires. So simple, sweet, and ferocious. Yet their origin harbors one of the greatest mysteries of life. What came first? The chicken or the egg? The egg. The egg. Not gonna weigh in? I'm intellectually withdrawing myself from this conversation. But unlike this unsolved mystery, I do know how vampires were created. Would you mind elaborating? Weren't you intellectually withdrawn? As a cleric of Cassiopeia, humility is a lifelong objective that I strive towards. As such, I must admit when I need to concede words spoken in haste. Which would be now, I suppose. Alethea, oh, we got her third one. Alethea Anwar. Her bravery verges on obsession, but maybe it's just to stroke her own ego. She presumably has never taken a break in her whole life and probably never will. Let's just hope her tendencies to overwork herself won't get the best of her. Lately, she seems to be warming up to the thought of relying on others. Please, Kyle, if you wouldn't mind expanded on what you just said? Certainly. It must have been over 5 centuries ago when a scholar stole some of the immortal blood of the dragons. The scholar offered it to Queen Annabeth, who would become the vampire's monarch. I have never heard of Queen Annabeth. I think that was just the plot of a really challenging board game, Kyle. Oh, you're right. So then Mike was real after all? Mike? Yes, it's all coming back to me now. The first vampire that walked this world was the infamous Mikhail. Most of us call him Mike, thank God for that. He had a very close connection to the spirit dragon in his domain. Eventually, Mike struck a deal with Tuat. In exchange for a guard in the dragon's realm, he would get to live forever. But that didn't work out, I guess. Old Mike didn't read the fine print. The spirit dragon turned out to be a trickster. Tuat turned him into a new form of undead creature, invulnerable to age and disease, but still weak to the blade. Blood was the only thing he could stomach to consume, and with time, even sunlight became intolerable. Mike was no longer welcome among the living, but the dead didn't want him either. And that's how the first vampire was created. Fascinating. There's so little known about the spirit dragon in his realm. Kyle, just how do you possess such knowledge that's considered ancient by today's standards? What knowledge? The knowledge you just told us about? Ah, I stumbled upon it in a grimoire I bought the other day at the local bookstore. No, that was the vampire romance book Cyrilin recommended to you. Try again. But of course, poor Kyle. Dear Evelyn was such a historic, Dear Evelyn, that's his vampire ex-girlfriend, I think, was a history fanatic. How could I not pick up on a few stories? That was one of her favorites. I still dream of her deathly beautiful countenance as she narrated tales until the intruders stopped screaming. She always told the story of our progenitor, Mike, so softly. She would cradle a vial of his blood, and her tone would turn so reverent. A secret to share just with me, she would say. Uh-oh. I didn't mean to break the last oath between us as well. I'm sure we can help you keep this secret, right? A secret between new friends. If secrecy is how we can repay you for sharing this with us, then so be it. Since you seem to have been very close to her, I just wanted to let you know. We traveled past Marrow Castle on our way back. It looked awfully damaged. The destruction looked so fresh if we only had passed by earlier. Clay even spotted a heavily armored silhouette a short distance away from what remained of the castle walls. We hurried over as quickly as possible, but the shadow was gone by the time we got there. As it was, only rubble remained. Was my dear Evelyn unharmed? We don't know. The castle looked abandoned, like a ruin. My Evelyn, what horrid fiend could have inflicted such damage? She must have fought back fiercely. May her opponent suffer twice the damage they inflicted upon her. What I wouldn't give to know if we're safe. I think I need to go ask Rhea about her comfort food. Oh, did we get Kyle's third one? Alphonse, Louis, Frederick, Duquette, Dusong. What a name. AKA Kyle. Despite his short and often fragmented memory, he has extensive knowledge of the origin of all vampires, which could be expected when you're a vampire yourself, I suppose. Even though he still seems to be caught up in his long-lost marriage, he really took a liking to the person who dug him up. Let's give him some time to come to terms with what he just learned. Cyrlin. Oh, and Scully's back. Greetings, brave adventurers. Great Morrow, innkeeper. There seem to be a few more bones than usual with you, Scully. You observe correctly, my friend. They are wonderful parting gifts, aren't they? They sure are. That explains woefully little, Scully. I'm afraid I'll need a better explanation than that. And you shall not be disappointed, my friend. You must excuse me. All this enthusiasm is just bouncing around in my skull. Let us know when it hits a corner. I will try to compose myself. This tale deserves the cracking of every last one of my rhetorical knuckles. Is he changed? Does he have more bones than normal? I don't remember. I think he looks normal, doesn't he? Let us recount our tale properly, Dame Cyrlin. Hang on. I think I could go for one of your drinks first. That can be arranged. Something to keep my strength up. I didn't get to flex my muscles much during our quest. A good one might net you a story. No pressure, Cyrlin. We're going basic. A great drink for a great story. Aren't you lucky? I'd like to think luck has nothing to do with it. Perhaps not. I might have something else to cheer you up. Oh? Melly's back. Oh. Relieved? Like a great sword's been lifted off my shoulders. And we got Cyrlin's third paragraph. Cyrlin, who would have thought such a fearless warrior never learned how to swim? But I'm sure her newly found family will teach her, eventually. Seems like the lone wolf is not so lonely after all. Cyrlin definitely lives up to her Baba's heritage, even if she herself doesn't see it yet. So we need Rhea's third paragraph, Dave's third paragraph, Scully's, maybe we'll get that now, Grace's, Una's, Clay's, and that's it. Okay, we're getting pretty close to knowing about our characters. Is she alright? Yes. though you might prefer to see for yourself. She and Dave left me their address to give you. Who? Ah, you know them. Right, got it. The only person who would fit such an uninspired name. They better have apologized to Melly or else. You'll have to find out the details for yourself. Just don't keep them waiting for too long. Don't need to tell me that. Fable isn't back then. No. Sure are taking their time. Feel like looking for them yet? No, they're capable. Just my patience is starting to wear thin. You had some to begin with? You're pretty chatty for someone with within great sword distance. Right. Can I interest you in one of my drinks as well, Scully? With an offer like that, my friend, how can a skeleton say no? Perhaps something to enhance my aura. I would like to do the proclamation of this tale proper justice. I don't know if I've done either of those yet. I'm not sure. Oh my. They say manners maketh man, but this drink alone has invigorated me plenty. I can almost feel the warmth of flesh on my bones again. A pleasure to be of service. Our quest was confusing. Inspiring. My favorite flavor of quest. Not enough fighting in my opinion. Felt like my muscles were wasting away on the way back here. The most important muscle of all received a superb workout. The brain. Metaphorically for me, of course. I've been wondering about that actually. No. We're not even gonna get started on that topic. I do have to agree, my friend, let's not get distracted. Though I would be delighted to share my theories with you, innkeeper. Let me know when you have an hour to spare, or 5. Now back to the task at hand. We started by making our way westwards, though our progress was slow. Any complications? Yes, quite a few. Look at his angry face. Before embarking on this journey, I was woefully ignorant about the plight of the Faesoan farmers. The less than ideal weather conditions, the flood that ruined a lot of crops, and now this pesky undead problem. I was stricken with empathy for their struggle. The least we could have done was offer up our means of transportation for any soul looking for a better life further north. So we switched carriages 3 times. By the 3rd time, we had gotten so far off course it took us a whole day just to get back on track, on foot. But once our hike was over, we did get to spend a wonderful afternoon with Dame Cirilin's cousin, Lady Danica. That was nice, I guess. The the cousin with the undead snail problem, yes? Did you manage to liven up that garden for her? Sure did. Just had to set out some cabbage to lead them somewhere where we wouldn't be damaging any crops. And with just one magnificent strike. Truly a sight to behold. It was just some undead snails, no need to have gotten so excited. To match the excitement, Lady Danica served us some positively delightful cups of tea. Better than any accompanying finger sandwiches were some new facts I had gleaned from observing the snails. Even lacking souls, they still displayed some pack behavior. They acted nothing like real animals, of course, but somehow I was struck with empathy for their plight. To unconsciously seek out a manner of instinctual action, despite the lack of anything to grant them a conscious objective. Is there a more transparent yearning for purpose than that? My apologies. It appears what they say about my old age is true. You can't help but philosophize. And you couldn't help but relate? In a way. One can't help but wonder whether any choice I make is truly my own or just a post-mortem reflex of these old bones. Perhaps even my thirst for knowledge. And yet your enjoyment of it seems genuine. Truly, innkeeper, you have a way with words. Just lots of experience. Though that may be, my worries seem rather foolish now. I count myself as quite fortuitous that despite all my memory lacks, I can delight in learning it all again. Does it really matter when where such an urge comes from? Anyhow, my apologies, Dame Cyrillin. I completely derailed our epic tale. Allow me to make up for it by continuing post-haste. We departed after that lovely cup of tea, finally headed for the Pale Woods. Lady Danica provided us with a cart and a trusty steed, a cow with the most lovely temperament. Her name was La Solette. I made sure to greet the gentleman that we passed on our way to the woods. What magnificent shadow armor he was wearing. Something about it felt oddly familiar. Perhaps it was only my hope that we would look just as gallant after our quest. La Solette valiantly took us to the edge of the forest, where maliciousness permeated the very air we breathed. What he means is, it stunk real bad. We left La Solette there, sparing her the stench seemed like the right thing to do. And forth we ventured. Didn't take long to find what we were looking for. The place was crawling with them. Which also explained the awful smell. For some reason, the miasma didn't seem to bother me much. It's probably because you don't have a nose, Scully. Most respectfully, you don't have a nose. Oh, of course. Anyways, there was a veritable horde before us, an army of undead creatures shambling their way through the forest. One gnawed tree at a time. They were awfully interested in those trees, it's true. I was itching to tear into them. But remembering the plan, I stepped back with a hand on my greatsword. The crucial part of a successful negotiation is that you don't go into it blind, so we observed. The undead creatures were displaying similar patterns to those snails. They weren't just stumbling around seamlessly. They seemed to be following a pack leader. A representative. That simplified things considerably. Our first course of action was clear. I let Dame Searlin know of my intentions. Seemed reasonable enough. While I circled the group to get to the leader at the front, she remained hidden in the shadows of the thicket. I walked up to the leader, another skeleton, making sure I displayed an open and respectful disposition. I suppose they were not open and respectful in return? Nope. Before I could even react, the skeleton had bitten down on Scully's arm. Agony is what I would have said if I hadn't been protected by my frost armor and your excellent drink mixing skills. Always glad to hear my drinks are protecting my clients on their quests. My friend, your drinks are astonishingly potent. Maybe too potent. As soon as the undead creature bit down, their teeth shattered on impact. The leader recoiled immediately. All the others surrounding us froze. Their leader fell to the ground, cradling their face with their hands. Curiously, when they regained their composure, their expression filled with joy. Still no idea how you can read an expression on a skull. They were actually quite expressive for a skeleton. They mostly express themselves through vibes. That sounds like some of your usual nonsense. But this time I'm always willing to believe you. Excuse me, but what are exactly vibes, my friends? Have fun explaining that one. I guess you can think of them as some kind of aura that someone's given off. Fascinating. That sounds quite powerful. Could one harvest them like magic? Let's get back to the story. The teeth shattering was quite worrying. Made me re-examine the bite marks on the trees around us. Particularly, the bite marks here were quite a bit more shallow than what we'd seen on other parts of the forest. Which means they were trying to get rid of their teeth. All those undead creatures had severe dental issues. The leader was so happy because the frost armor's chill was dulling their pain. The others' teeth were also in truly poor condition, and looking at their behavior, it seemed to be causing them severe pain. Coupled with their hunger for trees, it became a never-ending cycle of suffering. It should have never gotten so bad. I asked them why they hadn't reported the issue to their necromancer. It was clearly starting to impact the fulfillment of their objective. That got them really heated. They tried to rip Scully apart again. But Dame Searlin skillfully resolved the situation with a bit of intimidation. It turns out they didn't have dental. Searlin? I'm with Scully on this one. They had no benefits, nothing. They were just expected to be quiet and follow orders. That doesn't sound right to me. It's a scam, that's what that is. No sick leave, no compensation, no PTO. They didn't want to hear it. We're doing what we love. We don't need any fancy benefits. But you should have seen the state they were in. They couldn't even take a proper chomp out of the tree's outer bark anymore. What would happen if their teeth deteriorated even further? Their necromancer would replace them with another undead creature in a heartbeat. That was when Scully really got to him, I think. The words were just pouring out of my mouth, and I was elated they were the right ones. The light reflecting off the frost armor really dazzled him too. Any skeleton worth their calcium should be able to acquire such armor. They needn't be bound by such a neglectful necromancer. My apologies. It appears I somewhat lost my composure just now. You might soon be contacted by a host of the first Ufu Gathering Innkeeper Union for the Undead Ufu. I love that. That's so funny. Ufu 1755. Never forget your roots. Let's go. Unions are the best. They're welcome to visit any time. I think they really want to improve their situation. Most respectably, they promise to leave the Pale Woods alone as well. One of Ufu's goals is to find a more sustainable way, or is it a Ufu? It's UFU. Is that what I'm supposed to be saying? I'm calling it Ufu because that's funny. Is to find a more sustainable way to deal with their obsession eventually. They're heading for the necromancer now. There are a bunch of demands to settle. They graced us with a great deal of parting gifts before we left. We got the hallux that broke off of one of them when they attacked Dame Cyrillin. Their leader gave me the teeth we couldn't put back in their skull. Oh, and this eyeball. I'm overjoyed we managed to resolve our quest in a peaceful manner. Can't deny your resolution was pretty effective. Good to know you're both happy with how it ended. Those are the outcomes I most enjoy hearing about from my patrons. Oh, but we did get you something else as well, Innkeeper. Right. Here. The trees looked really chewed on and dead. But the berries seemed like they were thriving. They were the ones that Elfie was going on about. Not like they're here to appreciate them now, so I guess you can have them. Just set some aside to make Fable a drink when they're back. Sounds fair. Also, while I was plucking the berries, the spirits of the trees gave us a little keepsake. Because they were so glad we stopped all that gnawing. Sadly, I don't have any more storage space left in my hat. So we wanted you to have it as well. Now we can always indulge in sweet memories whenever we visit. I think I know just the place for it. Thank you very much. Scully, you ever thought about becoming an advocate for this kind of stuff? Not that I can usually stand them, but you seem to really care about all this. Oh no, I'm but a mere heap of bones, here to learn all I can. But it is a gentleman's way to speak out when evil is committed in front of you. So I don't suppose I will stop doing just that anytime soon. Sounds good to me. I still wonder what all those dead creatures were doing there. No idea. We didn't ask. Hunger? Seemed to be heading north before we talked to them. Maybe they were searching for more trees? The Pale Woods is one of the largest forests in Faisoa. I don't see a reason for them to leave the area before it was barren. Unless they were ordered to. Don't they typically come with the necromancer attached? You don't suppose the gentleman we encountered outside the woods could have been that very necromancer? I don't think farmers wear armor like what you described. Oh, if I had known what a dastardly negligent necromancer they were, I would have never offered that greeting. Just realize where they could have been heading. It's true there aren't many woods around here that compare to the Pale Woods. But that giant root in the capital must look pretty good to some tree-obsessed undeads. There might be tons more headed there even now. Just to clarify, you believe hordes of undead creatures are marching towards the capital? Well, towards the roots there would be my guess. I see. They're headed towards Thamus to gnaw at the divine roots, as if to fill the Aether Tree. Precisely. Not that such an action alone could destroy the whole thing, but it would certainly do some damage. What in the world are you talking about? As I just stated, someone is trying to destroy the Aether Tree. The Starfall, the Primordial Flood, even the interplanar portals, it's all part of a bigger plot. Was that not clear? No. Oh my, that's awful. And insane if true. Is it working? Unfortunately so. Or do you see stars in the night sky? I mean, there's one. There used to be more. And we don't know who's behind it yet either. Well, Cyril, Mr. Scully, the gentle person you greeted outside of the woods, you thought he might be a necromancer? He certainly bore the armor of one. Did he seem like he wanted to kill everyone? Not particularly, though it can be hard to tell sometimes. Politeness and the desire for homicide aren't necessarily mutually exclusive. Necromancers resurrected things to make undead creatures. Indeed they do. So, Scully, you were resurrected, right? Do you remember anything about it? Well, I admit, at first I recall very little from the start of my new life. I mostly stumbled about trying to remember my manners. We got Scully's third paragraph. Scully, he's very interested in studying other undead since he came back conscious instead of being a lifeless puppet. He tried to strike up a conversation with other zombies and even unionized them. Now he is committed to fighting for better working and unliving conditions for the undead. But my memories, rather the memories of my body, which I suppose are also my memories, have been getting clearer lately. Let me try to focus my thoughts. I believe I awakened in the archives in the Everbloom. The Everbloom? Did you encounter any bleak stalkers? Why, I did indeed. They seemed very hungry for my bones. Such interesting creatures, they remind me of the old intellect wombats. Do those beasts still roam Faisoa? No. What are intellect wombats? Priorities, Tia. Scully, Who woke you up? A gentleman of fine age. I believe he was there to do research. I remember candles held over notes, scribbled on paper, ink stains on fingertips. He must have found my near friend's study. I remember I was looking for her when... After I woke, I simply left. How rude and uninquisitive of me. I should have asked what he was researching. I could have helped. Be glad you did not aid him. We found his notes. They spoke of the destruction of the universe. Did the guy from the woods remind you of the one from the archives? Now that you mention it. I wasn't conscious enough to recognize faces when I rose, but I knew the armor looked familiar. I think I saw it when I first reopened my eyes. Metaphorically, of course, I no longer have eyelids. A necromancer behind all of this? Is he trying to break the sigils just to get to Tuat, the spirit dragon in the realm of death? Sigils? Are you perchance speaking of the sigils of Alcahest? My friend was researching them once. I always thought them a wild figment of her imagination. Seems like they're not, unfortunately. Do necromancers usually want to destroy Tuat? No. But they do defy his laws of life and death. Perhaps he craves access to all the souls the spirit dragon guards? Or he plans to destroy death once and for all with his perversions? But my dears, to destroy Tuat, one must find him first. That in and of itself would be the impossible task, no? Not exactly. The spirit realm is well protected, but there are ways to get to him. Can you kill death? I don't know, but merely attempting it sounds disastrous. Miss Anwar, Mr. Moore, Tuat is the god of death. No matter how insane the necromancer, no one could possess a weapon powerful enough to fight a god. Only weapons made by dragons can harm them. We all know this. You mean like Ur's great axe? A weapon forged by the dragons, for the dragons by the dragons, meant only for their claws. The axe. It could certainly cut through the barrier between the astral sea and the upper world, if not through Tuat himself. Would stealing an axe from a dragon count as a sigil? Alright, y'all lost me again. I talked about this already. Keep up. I'll explain later. It might count as a sigil if it awakens or damages their plane. Should not be awakened under any circumstances. Nor should their legendary weapon fall into the hands of a mere mortal. My, this is quite concerning. I'm not gonna take this stance. This seems like the wrong way to think about things. I'm right there with you. This seems like too insane of a plot. Even for some big bad evil guy. They always seem to be reaching for new heights in their dastardly schemes. If we are correct, this one plans to steal Ur's weapon, break their sigil, and then destroy Tuat. Dragons be with us. What about the undead creatures marching toward the capital? They must be a distraction, a way to keep anyone who would interfere off his back. Quite the dangerous distraction, if you ask me. Those poor husks shouldn't be snacking away at those roots either, should they? No. And those sigils of alcohol zest you keep talking about could do what? Destroy the tree? The spirit realm rests above all others in the canopy of our world. If what we believe to be this monster's plan succeeds, it will collapse down onto the rest of the Aether Tree. Not only would that free all dead souls, it would destroy the tree, our home, our cosmos, and everything below it. It would destroy our world as we know it. Not to mention, Tuat might die, and I don't think I have to explain to you why dying would be a bad thing. Once again, can he die? Wouldn't risk it. Though I believe this plot of his has to be limited somewhat, no? Perhaps the traditional period between the astral moon and the dying moon? Only then would the veil between Cassiopeia and Tuat be thin enough for a ritual of such magnitude to succeed. Wait, what you mean is this can only happen on the night between the 35th of Cassiopeia and the 1st of Tuat? So it can only work in 4 days or next year? Precisely. I guess you can't have a ritual without unnecessarily complicated rules. It is common courtesy. Clay, I've been wondering, remember that man we saw on our way back from near Marrow Castle? Yes. Do you think he might have been the same guy? I do. Strange armor sounds familiar. As does the convenient proximity to destruction. And more so, the blood of the first vampire Kyle spoke of. Part of the ritual to safely traverse the astral sea involves having an associated anchor for your destination. To find Tuat, you need something connected to him. Like the blood of a vampire eternally bound to him. Yes, maybe our villain got his hands on it. Perhaps he knows more of Cassiopeia than I anticipated. All of this out of context nonsense is giving me a headache. And got another drink to spare to help with all this mess. Something powerful enough to get me through this. Anything for you, Cyrillin. I'll put all the strength I have into this drink. Enjoy. I think you just put parts of my sanity back together. Thanks a lot. Anytime. So, this madman, if he can't get the axe, he can't kill the spirit dragon, right? Correct. Great. Let's stop him from getting the axe then. Great idea. I know. Now, how do we do that? Well, first the necromancer needs to find it. For that, he'd have to go to Ur's realm. Thanks to the portals, that's entirely within the realm of possibility. One would simply have to journey through one of the portals to the Twilight Chasm, and then enter the Caves of Endless Night through the Nightmare Realm. Nothing easier than that. Didn't Melly see some weird new bone waymarkers near the Twilight Chasm portal in the Moon Swamps? Could they be there to remind someone, say, a necromancer, of the way to the portal? They could. Good. The moon pools are much easier to reach than Boreas. We should catch the necromancer before he ventures into the chasm, and most certainly before he gets the axe. Great. Let's go beat his... Hold on. What if you don't succeed? I have faith in you, but he sounds powerful. How about a backup plan? Hate to say it, but you're not wrong. Thanks for looking out for us. If we don't manage to stop him from getting the weapon, we stand no chance in a fight against him. Even your divine strikes would be no match, Miss Anwar. That is true. We would need an incredibly powerful weapon to match his. Not sure if it's enough, but I do have this sword I got from my Baba. Let me see it. This is remarkable craftsmanship, infused with minor divine powers. Incredible. But I'm afraid even this cannot rival the Great Axe by any capacity. What if it was mixed with dragonfire? What? Do you happen to have such a thing on hand, young lad? No, but I know where we can find some. The ever-burning flame in the highlands is dragonfire. The one you wanted to see, Tia? I think now might be a good time for that. You're right. Dragonfire merged with Searlin's blessed sword. It wouldn't be as powerful as the axe, but it might give us a fighting chance. If we had a master craftsman to forge it, that is. Rhea, she's a blacksmith. You're right, there's no one better for the job. I'm sure she'd love to forge such a weapon. And I'm sure you can convince her of the importance, Searlin. You got that right. Leave the blacksmith recruiting to me. Very well. I'm sure Master Smith Frostgrip will be delighted with this opportunity. Having her on our side makes us even more. It makes me even more confident that we can stop this necromancer's plans. I have the utmost faith in us, and I know the aperture and its astral portal are well protected, even if we should fail. Though I don't believe we will, because I know I'm strong enough to best this battle. And that Clay is as well. And the others too? Yes, the others too. I'll be honest. I'm not sure the 4 of you will be enough. Don't worry. There's a lot of people we can ask for help. Like you. Like me. Ask away. I knew we could count on you. You collect everything we talked about, right? I try my best. Could you write up 2 quests for all of this? I think we will split our resources so we get up the backup plan going at the same time. Good idea, young man. Plus, that'll give us an excuse to have your drinks to help us. Not that you need an excuse, but I appreciate you following my rituals. I'll see what I can do. I should have something written up first thing in the morning. I trust in you as you trust in us. Deeply? Yes. Deeply, and with the knowledge that together we are stronger. We'll see you in the morning then. Searlin, come with us. We owe you a few explanations before we make you do any persuasion work for us. You got that right. Let's go. I cannot miss out on more possible details. I shall see you in the morning too, Inky. Thank you for all of your help. Let's save the world, alright? Let's, Clay. Good luck. Alright, let's get these quests together. Alright, so... Searlin's axe. Oh god, there's so much. Okay. So this is the flame. This is about Searlin's sword. And then this one Hair of Dragonfire. Only a weapon forged in Dragonfire could ever dream to hold up against the legendary Great Axe of Luckily, a temple in the Highlands houses the ever-burning flame, an ancient gift from the dragons that'll come in handy right about now. And what better to reshape with this flame than another gift from the Realm Keepers, an heirloom passed down to Cyrillin with heroism scorched into its very essence. I got 3 quests? Is that right? Or is there just 2? Okay. Oh. Hold on, my cat's having an asthma attack. Alright. He's okay. Okay, undead marching toward the capital. Twilight Chasm. World calamity is imminent, but there is one last way to save it. The only weapon strong enough to harm Tuat and the Aether Tree is the legendary Great Axe of and the personification of evil wants it desperately. But first, he must make it through the Twilight Chasm, and for that he needs a portal. Sounds like a good location to stop him, right? Okay, the tree is wrapped in roots. I'm gonna put them like that. Okay. The Dead Parade. A horde of undead is approaching the capital. Their insatiable hunger for the local flora leads them to the exposed roots of the Aether Tree, and therefore to the capital of Thamus, since it lies nestled safely in the roots. This is a mere distraction, so the necromancer can fulfill his true plan, but the undead still must be stopped before they hunger for flesh once more. Alright, everyone. I think that's where we'll end it for today. I hope you had fun watching this or listening to it in the background. I think we'll find out next time what's going on and hopefully stop the world from ending. I hope you have a good day and week and rest of your evening. And if you don't mind and stuck around this long, don't forget to like and subscribe. It would help me out quite a bit. But anyways, I hope you all have a wonderful day and week, and I will see you all next time.